Hello and welcome to my Reflections podcast on life and leadership, where I share my thoughts and strategies to help you build your emotional muscle. Today's podcast is on the theme of Father's Day, which approaches us on Sunday the 15th of June. And for me, it's quite poignant because on Father's Day, this Sunday, I'm also running my 10th Leeds 10k run. 10k is not really a huge distance to people who've done marathons, and I'm proud to say I've done a few. But still, for me, the Leeds 10k is highly significant, and more so because I'm running my 10th one on Father's Day. I actually started running seriously in order to find focus after losing my dad, and my first ever run was the Leeds 10k in 2014. And to be honest, I wouldn't have started running but for the fact that there was a family friend who saw in me the potential to be a runner, and he encouraged me, supported me and coached me throughout almost all my runs. But for him, I wouldn't be running. But the reason why running and marking Father's Day is so significant to me is, like so many of you who may be feeling a little bit sad that they're marking yet another Father's Day without their dad. Or there might be people out there who've never experienced the love of a father. And there'll be people who have a dad, but they're not in connection with them. Our relationship with the person who is our father is hugely significant, and I think for me, my dad was a single parent. He raised his family, his children, ran a business, and was incredibly present as a father, deeply loving. And for me, even now I look up to him when I want guidance or when I'm unsure as to what's the right thing to do. And it's been a few years since I lost my dad. Each year I marked Father's Day and I would remember this is my 10th year without my dad on Father's Day. This year I'm not going to count the number of years my father's been dead, because I actually feel he's with me. Whenever I do something that I feel proud of, I'm happy to do, I'm pushing myself, my father's with me. And I don't need to count the number of years since he's passed. I just have to remember how blessed am I that even though he's no more, I feel as if he's with me every day, encouraging me to be the best self, encouraging me to not give up on my dreams. And the pure definition of love is only felt when you have had the privilege of being loved unconditionally. And for me, that was my father. No conditions attached. He was always there for me. He believed in me more than I believed in myself. Some of you will know that I wrote a book. Actually, it was a series of blogs that I wrote following the loss of my dad to make sense of my grief. And I've recently published the second edition of that book, My Dad and Me, A Journey of Love, Loss and Life. And I found myself going through the book in order to find what I wrote on a previous Father's Day. And this is the blog I wrote on 13th June 2017, titled Father's Day Again. This Sunday will be my 4th Father's Day without my dad. I'm approaching this day with dread and gratitude in equal measure. As time goes by, the gut-wrenching pain and the heartache are still palpable, just as they are indescribable. Yet I go on. Where? Who knows? And why? Well, that's another question in itself. There is this acute hole in my being, well, in my soul and in my heart, even though I feel and I know that my father has not really left me at all. It is getting used to his physical absence and so much more. Sometimes the pain hits you right at the core of your being. And I can be anywhere, at work, at home, walking, watching the TV, or even looking at the sky. It just comes from nowhere and it knocks me off my tracks. There I go again, in a place where I do not want to be, but glad I can still visit it sometimes. I sense a wobble, and depending on where I am and what I'm supposed to be doing, I compose myself and then carry on. This is a long blog, so I'm not going to read the whole blog here, but I conclude the blog with the following. I know it's only 3 years, 5 months and 13 days since he died, but he's still a huge part of my world. Without him, I'm lost, but in a strange way, I'm slowly finding myself. This year I've not made any plans to mark Father's Day, though I am aware of its arrival. It's as though I feel paralysed in grief again. Sounds heavy and sad, I know, but it is what it is. I know exactly how I marked the last 3 Father's Day, and I'm not sure how I can surpass what I did last year when I had a tattoo done on my left arm. But this year, I just hope I get through this day intact without losing sight of the good things in my life. And there are many. Perhaps there is no miracle cure and no right or wrong way. We all just have to help each other muddle along and get by. To anyone out there reading this blog, if you are a dad or you have a dad, make the most of your time with your loved ones. It is the memories we create in our living world that helps us and helps those left behind. Don't miss out on the chance of telling your dad how much you love him and appreciate his presence in your life. I would do anything to do just that right now. So that was a blog I wrote on the 13th of June 2017 to mark Father's Day. And this Father's Day, I'm going to be running my 10th Leeds 10K, which is the best way I know how to remember my dad. When I think of him, I think of sheer grit, courage, resilience, and doing what gives me joy. Lots of people on this journey have been incredibly helpful to me, and I want to acknowledge all of them. Those organisers who organise the 10Ks do a fantastic job behind the scenes in making sure that everything runs smoothly. Hats off to them. And I'm just going to end on a personal note with a story about my recent meeting with a lovely lady called Lindsay Burrow. She is the wife of the brilliant rugby player Rob Burrow, who sadly passed away almost a year ago. I had the pleasure of meeting Lindsay on Monday, first time. She has been through so much, and she is so humble in what she does now, which is to raise awareness for the victims and families who are going through MND, motor neuron disease, and she's also raising awareness of the plight of carers. Carers are these unpaid army of people who care for their loved ones because they love, not because they get paid. And when I met Lindsay, I congratulated her because she did 2 marathons in the space of 2 weeks. And again, she started running to support Rob and his mission. And we both talked how running helps us with grief as well. So I'm going to end this podcast to say Happy Father's Day to all those dads that are here and are not here, to all those sons and daughters who might be missing their dad on Father's Day. Chin up, celebrate your lovely, beautiful memories of your wonderful father, and appreciate what you have still with your dad. To my dad, thank you, Father. You are the best. I know you're with me every step of the way. And I love you so much. Happy Father's Day, Pops. Thank you very much for listening to my podcast. A little bit personal. If you found it helpful and uplifting, feel free to share. Also, if you feel like sending your feedback, please do. You can find me on my website, which is www.daxapatelresilience.com, or on LinkedIn. Tune in to the next episode on Life and Leadership on Spotify. And I wish you a very, very happy Father's Day. Thank you for listening. This is your host, Daxa Patel, signing off. Bye-bye.